am RedCyclone! Yeah!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of the It Gets Better, I Swear podcast. I'm your host, Louis Beans, and I'm here with Mark with the mic.
What is going on? What is going on, world?
Chillin', Mark. What it is?
My guy just almost got murdered by Sami Zayn and Ridge Holland in WWE 2K23.
Sammy, how could you?
He tried to throw a whole safe in my guy's body. It's fucked up.
So what is he, Bugs Bunny?
So, alright. So, there's two stories. So, update, I'm playing WWE 2K23. It came out about a week ago, or 2 weeks ago. Last week it came out. So, if you do the My Rise mode, there's two different storylines. There's the Legacy mode, and then there's the Lock mode. The Lock mode is they give you a gimmick called the Lock, and pretty much you come out of safe, and it's a big ass safe that you come out of and shit. And then you have the fucking John Cena chain gang necklace, and they give you some generic lock gear and shit that you have to wrestle with and stuff like that. So the first meeting that you have is Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is declaring to make the IC title the Sami Continental title, to name the title under his name, because he was so good that like the title's gonna be under his name. Then your guy debuts. He comes out a big fucking kind of like Jericho, but a big ass giant safe. He comes out and he's the Lock, and he has a lock on his chest and shit like that. And then you beat him, you become the IC champion, and then you stuff Sami Zayn inside the safe, and then you drop it. So I go into the continue of the story that I had to fight Ridge Holland. I beat Ridge Holland, and they both jumped me, and they both try to like lift the safe on my body, and that's fucked up. And they try to murder me on TV.
No, it's not. You didn't tell me that what you did to him before.
But I put him inside it. I didn't like crush him.
And then you said you dropped it off or something. What did you drop it off?
He just, I don't know where the guy got the strength, but he fucking lifted he just pushed it to the side.
To the side of what?
On the floor, like he just tilted. He pushed the safe to the other side, like he lifted it to fall
throw it off
on the side. Like if you're in a porta potty, you go sideways.
That's all he did. You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. If you said.
But Sami tried to murder. Like Sami tried to throw the safe on me, as in try to crush me with the safe.
And Ridge Holland.
Sure? And Ridge Holland, both of them.
Whose idea was this?
I do not know, but they tried to murder me, and I didn't like it. Anyway, and then how he gets my DM? Like how he knows my phone number? Sami Zayn's like calling my DM and calling me. That's harassment right there.
Well, you don't have to call somebody DM. What platform is your? What platform do they have in the game?
It looks like Twitter.
Yeah, you don't need your phone number for that.
Doesn't matter. He's stalking me. I don't like it. I'm murderous.
He's your co-worker. Not stalking you.
He is stalking me.
You put him in a safe.
He's just tried to murder me.
No, you put him in a safe first.
When he tried to murder my man. Anyway, but it's so far it's good. The gameplay is pretty interesting. Some of the trophies are weird, but they're fun. I did try the War Games matchup, and that shit's insane. It's just insane, period. But you're able to like change your control on each person depending on who. Like if you have all four guys in, you could kind of control who you want to play as. So like say for instance you pick Cena, Roman, Seth, and Ali. If you want to be Ali, you can just easily switch to Ali while the whole game is playing. So it's cool. It's cool. It's a cool concept that they have. I seen the people modding it and actually having it without the cage. Well, it's just a error in the game that you actually have the cage lift off and not just have the 2-ring match. But you see like the commentators like inside the ring.
Really?
Yeah.
That's different. Okay.
But
Okay.
it's a good game. It's a good game so far. I think it's getting decent reviews so far. I know it got a lot of eights, a lot of 8.5s and stuff like that. They did improve a lot of the gameplay. You could tell that it's a work in progress, but they're doing better and better each year. So this is the second year with the run, and also working on the last gen as well. I think next year is gonna go mainly PS5 and PC and Xbox
You've been saying
Series
that
X.
for like 5 years. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
It'll happen when it happens.
yeah, it happens when it happens. But then again, you'll see the difference when they actually could focus on one side. I don't think it's much of a difference because it's just a faster load time, but it looks cleaner. This is probably one of the best looking WWE games they have done in a long time. So it's fun.
Nobody's eyeballs bugging out their head, right?
Nope, not yet. And no one looks like everyone kind of like looks on par to what they look like. I haven't seen that Dana Brooke face yet, but who knows?
What happened to Dan? Why they gotta keep
You
messing
remember 2020? The Dana Brooke looked like Chucky.
I don't remember that, but I remember they
scary.
tried to pass off the Rock as the Rock, and it was clearly someone else.
Yeah, it's
That clearly
100%.
was
Yeah,
not
yeah.
him.
It's just the basic face, and all their eyes look cross-eyed.
Yeah.
Everyone look
it was-
cross-eyed.
It was not. It was no bueno. But it was hella funny.
Yeah.
So
So speaking of wrestling, as we are still in the conversation, Mattel just announced the next crowdfunded toy action figure thing, which is going to be the WCW Nitro stage with lights
sir.
and lights up and stuff like that. There's so if you're part of the first 5,000 backing or early backings, you get the WCW Hulk Hogan with it. So if you back it now, within the next month, you could get the Hulk Hogan. After 5,000, you get a Rey Mysterio. I'm a little disappointed he don't get the Cruiserweight title. I wish like each one of them came with a title, so you actually get the whole WCW title picture, like the TV title, the US title. You'll get the US and the WCW title off of this. 7,000 backing will give you DDP. 9,000 backing will give you Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. And this is the one that scratched my head, and this involves you having 11,000 backings of it, so 11,000 people have to pre-order this. And it is Ultimate Warrior. The debut Ultimate Warrior. No jacket in. Well, I'm not sure if it's going to come with the jacket or not. I don't think it's the full figure yet. Actually, no, yeah, it does. It says includes soft goods entrance duster, so it comes with his jacket.
Oh, it comes with the duster.
Yeah. So this is they actually have the list of things that come with. So Hulk Hogan, if you're early with it. So if you pre-ordered this before April 7th, 2024. Oh wow. If you funded 5,000 units by Friday. Oh, so by next year, if it's funded by that much, you get the debut Hogan. Includes 2 soft goods shirts, 2 bandanas, 2 sets of wristbands, weight belt, swapped heads, hands, and WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Included in the set, Rey Mysterio is already included, so no matter what, you get the Rey Mysterio. He also includes the soft goods entrance robe, swappable hands, and a head. So he's probably very similar to the WCW ECW One Night Stand Rey Mysterio I have with the silver jacket. It's probably very similar to that. 7,000 backing is Diamond Dallas Page, includes entrance vest, WCW microphone, and swappable heads and hands. I think they all have swappable heads and hands, so I'm just going to stop saying that. Big Papa Pump after 9,000 backers. He includes sunglasses and the WCW US Championship. And then if you get the 11,000, it's Ultimate Warrior, includes the soft good entrance duster, WCW microphone, and then the heads and swappable heads.
I mean, so with all that stuff, it sounds like it's worth it now. See, before that, I thought it was just each plain figure
Yeah.
and nothing. And so for the $400 price tag, I was like, I could see it being a little extreme. But if it comes with like all that complete stuff for each figure,
Yeah.
I can see that. But
Go ahead.
the reason why I think it'll succeed is just more because of the accuracy to the stage. Like I really feel like in this case the figures are secondary because that stage is beautiful.
Yeah. I'll say my only gripe with this is the Warrior. Why Warrior?
That's so random. But that's it.
That's like
Other
my
than
only gripe with it is Warrior. Like Warrior, like there's other guys that you could easily put in place of Warrior, and I think more people like it. I would have took Booker T with the TV title. I would take Harlem Heat with the tag titles.
Yes, sir.
So like, there's guys that are more WCW than Ultimate Warrior was. I know that people are got big Warrior fans, and a lot of dudes actually look for Warrior figures and stuff like that. There's people that actually bigly collect them because they are very sought out of. So I could see that being a thing, but again, I still think I could I could live without Warrior.
Yeah, I was never really that big of a fan, but if it comes to WCW, he does not spring to my mind.
Yeah,
first.
exactly.
That's the only thing. But other than that, I would say they did a good job. From what I see here, it looks great, and I hope it meets all the backing. People get what they want.
Me too. I hope it does get the backing. I hope it does this thing. But yeah, Mattel Creations, that's where you could go, and if you want to pre-order it, I do think they take the money up front until it's it gets okayed, and once it gets okayed, you're good.
And you said what Hogan is until the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Plenty of time, so take your time. But it does look cool, I will say that.
Yeah. So,
in other news, bad news, well, we talked about it because it was going to happen. 3DS and Wii U shop, that's it. It's over. Damn. 8 p.m. Which time? Is it Eastern? I don't think it's Eastern. I think it might be 8 p.m. Western time. So that's like 3 hours. It's like 5 o'clock. That means it's already over? No. That means 11 probably for us.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm thinking it says 8 p.m. Western.
8 p.m. Western, you said?
I think it's the West Coast.
8 p.m. Western would be 11 o'clock at night for us.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. There you go. So.
But I'm trying to find because I saw 8 p.m. and I'm trying to figure out whether it's East or West. It doesn't have it on GameSpot.
I think Nintendo's Eastern though, so.
Nintendo's a Japanese.
Oh,
company.
Western. Sorry, my fault. Western. They usually go by Western Pacific time. Yeah,
because if I learn anything from the updates, because of them being a Japanese company, whenever they do Monster Hunter updates, it will always be 4 p.m. and I'll be like, no, but that means 7 p.m. for me. Yep. So that's how it usually worked out. So, but unfortunately, it's a wrap. I know those are not. Both of those are the most popular, but definitely the 3DS. There are millions of units of 3DS out there. Obviously there are no new games for that system. The only thing I do know is that it does really hurt it on the secondary market, though.
Okay.
It's just because you buy a used one now, it's like, well, I can't get any digital games for it, and then you're really stuck having to hunt down the physical 3DS games.
Yeah.
And you know how people jack the prices up because it's a dead system. So that's the main thing that I know will hurt people who are collectors. Or just enthusiasts. Like if you wanted to grab one in case you didn't have one, or you wanted to get another one, and then you wanted to get your games, it's like with the store being closed, you can't put your purchase games on there. Like even if you could switch the account to it, the store's closed. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing. So that it hurts the preservation part of that system. So that's
and pretty much again, if you're a completist and you're gonna hunt, then you just probably brought the prices of your games to double.
Triple. I mean, it's 2023 and everybody's trying to gouge. Yeah. So it's not nice out there for collectors anymore. It just ain't.
Yeah, sure. I'm a collector, but not games. But yeah, I know. I know the feeling.
So I mean, it's sad to see it go. I get it. It has to be done. It happens for like every system
Yeah.
because this is just how the internet age of gaming goes. Because you can't just. It's a waste of time and resources to have that stuff just sitting there. Because the user bases are not the fresh user bases.
Yeah.
But I do always wish that more companies would go the route of Microsoft and find a way to preserve
Yeah.
their old stuff. I mean, granted, Microsoft is not the oldest game company, but comparatively to the 3DS, 360 is older than 3DS,
Yeah.
and they preserved everything. Well, mostly everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
They-
it can be done.
I
It's
feel
just-
like they just don't care to do it.
Nintendo don't give a It cost us how much?
Yeah.
And we making how much? Cut it down. Shut it down.
Yeah,
Turn it off.
exactly. They don't want
So-
free shit out there. Nintendo's
Mhm.
like, free? We don't like that
But-
word.
But I mean,
That four-letter word. Ugh.
I will say this will not stop people who do use emulation and other means to get their games. They are out there. The files are out there. So to that end, the savvy people will get what they want
Yeah.
and not pay arms and legs. But it's just the people that do follow the law.
Yeah.
they got to pay arms and legs. So.
Yep.
But other than that, it's been a good run. Do you have a favorite 3DS or Wii U game?
Well, I liked the remakes. I liked the Ocarina of Time, the N64, Mario. I thought they did good with those remakes. I liked 3D World, 3D Land, or whatever it's called. I liked it. The Resident Evil games were actually not bad on there either.
That's true. That is true.
I liked the Brain Age and like the WarioWare shit.
Oh yeah, I don't think they put that on anything else, did they?
Brain Age?
Those I'm talking about the Wario ones, the specific 3DS Wario games. Are those on
Nah,
anything
because
else?
you need the touchscreen
Yeah, it's alright.
and you needed to blow on it and all that shit.
Yeah, the microphone.
So it was
Damn.
good.
Yeah,
But Nick's closed
Good
now,
system.
so
Good system.
good luck with there.
good run with the 3DS. Good run.
Yeah.
And what happened this past week in the game sphere? There was the public beta
Yeah.
this weekend for Diablo 4.
So you
Diablo
got
Crack.
addiction.
Diablo Crack. This is what I call it.
The Diablo crack. Like I don't feel right.
Street Fighter. See, Street Fighter was a day one. Now it's looking like a.
Day 2.
I'm gonna have to wait. No, I'm gonna have to wait. Like Diablo's about to be a day one
Yeah.
because they come out the same day. That's crazy.
Damn. Yeah.
I don't know why they thought they could do that, but you know what? They could do that.
Well, they're two completely different games though.
I understand, but there's a lot of people where there's an overlap.
Yeah.
So it's just like you making people choose, man.
You know, you can for the price of one of the deluxe editions, you could get both games. Or almost.
I'm trying to think. Is any of the deluxe editions of both of these games worth it?
If you're wanting the characters and not have to pay more for the characters, I'll say the deluxe version is slightly cheaper.
For which game, though?
For Street Fighter, I think the $100 one gives you like most of the stuff. I think that the 120 gives you everything. That the DLC, anything that comes out for it, is gonna be directly on that. But then again, you know, Street Fighter, they're like doing the second versions of shit and they resell it. So who knows?
Yeah, but that usually takes a year.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting a year to buy Street Fighter. That's crazy. But yeah, Diablo putting out that public beta, it changed my vision on the game.
Do you need to still pre-order or no?
To get what?
The demo.
No, it was a beta.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was just them testing out like the network and stuff. For
Is it over?
as of right now, it should be because it was still going up until I think. If it's 6 now, I think it was going up until maybe 4 p.m.
Oh, okay.
is when I saw the last people online. So yeah, it's over and done with. It was good. I will say everything I played of it. As far as connection to other players, it was okay. You could see hiccups and stuff when you left and entered the town where the internet connections like kicked in for everybody, because it's doing a thing that's sort of different where it's making towns hub worlds
Yeah.
for other people playing the game at the same time, so you don't really have to play online with people play online with people per se. You'll just see other people going about their business, and you don't really have to play with them, but they can help you. And you can help you. Basically, you could. So they have these instances, which are just like little events on the maps, and they show like a circle around a specific area, and if you go to that circle, there's like either totems or there's like NPCs that need help.
Okay.
Or something, and then it ends up where you have to stave off some demon hordes or what have you. And then when those happen on the world map, that's when you see other people just who might be just crossing from one place to the next.
Yeah.
And they'll go through and they'll just stop and help you and clear it out, because the good thing about it is that it makes it worthwhile. Now I don't know if they're gonna tweak percentages and stuff, and they just made it rain candy on you when you played the beta, because it was easy to find legendaries. Like
nice.
That's one of the big things about the game is like, oh, you need all that legendary gear because it has all these extremely diverse effects on what the moves do. Like there's a thing that I'm realizing that they're I guess maybe that is the focus for the game, is that it's highly customizable, but then when you put the legendary stuff on, it's you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Borderlands.
Okay.
Like how, because even Borderlands as much as I like Borderlands 2, I still don't think it lived up to the hype of what it said when they were talking about when it first came out. They were like, we were making guns that do things that are crazy. It's gonna be a gun that shoots another gun that shoots another gun. You know what I mean? So when you play Borderlands 2, yeah, there was a gun that shot another gun, but it wasn't like the best gun. You know what I mean? You didn't really want to use that gun. You wanted another gun that did some other kind of cool stuff that basically just did damage. So this game, it seems like they're focusing on making your character do whatever it is that they have in their tree, and then when the legendaries tweaks what that does to a different degree, and it makes it do something that you didn't even think was possible, or it's like, why is it doing this? That's weird, but you know what, this is effective. And I think that's a good direction to go in, to give people a reason to actually look for that stuff, you know. But like I said, in the beta, it's very, very high percentages on getting stuff, so it was just fun. It was just fun. Like I tried 2 characters. I got the max level was 25. It was not that hard to get to 25. You probably had to play for like, I don't know, 6 hours total.
Yeah.
Just constantly doing the quests.
But the 6 hours probably goes fast. Like you don't even notice the 6 hours.
But you don't have to do it in one shot, because I did it like, since it was a weekend, it was like I played 2 hours one day, 3 hours another day, and like an hour today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And between all that, I got 25 on one character and 20 on a different one. So you know what I mean? Like if you, well, I'll put it this way. The first time was slower because I was listening to the story stuff and not skipping anything.
Yeah.
And then when I did it with a different character, I like this also because they keep the kind of like your world progress saved.
Yeah.
There's things that you were locked when you played the first time that are unlocked when you make a second character, so you don't have to grind like silly little things all over again.
Okay.
And then you can skip the story stuff because you know where to go. So then that cuts like an hour, you know what I mean, out of your playtime.
Nice.
So that alone just feels good, because it seems like it's gonna have a very user-friendly new game plus cycle, or just very user-friendly between making other characters, and that's definitely what people are going to do, because there's so many classes, and there's classes I know that they have not announced. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they had like the last game, they had like 4 different classes coming with DLC and shit.
Yeah, I can imagine that they're probably going to have like 1 or 2 more when the game launches. This one had 6, I believe.
Okay.
So if they have 2 more, that's 8, and that seems about right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then of course DLC is later, but I feel like they could squeeze some more in here. And I have no complaints really, because I don't really play Diablo like that.
Yeah.
I did not play 3 past the beginning of PC where it was on fire, so that's all I have to say about that. I have seen 2 played and I understand it, so I know why people like it, but I have not personally sank any hours into Diablo 2.
Yeah.
But 4 it just seems user friendly enough. It seems to have a lot of accessibility options. Like again, you go in the menu and there's a lot of stuff you could change. There's a lot of stuff you could tweak. I didn't really do too much. You could do the zoom in thing that they added to 2 remaster, I think it was. So like there's a lot of stuff that's there that just seems like they learned from like a lot of games that came out post 2020.
Yeah.
Where it's more the accessibility age, which is good. That's good. So, and that's June 3rd, which is, like I said, same day as Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
And then also, big game came out, Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yeah, I've been seeing videos of it.
For me, that was a day one, so I definitely got that on the 24th. I pre-ordered it, and because, like I said, like I tell people on the podcast, a lot of games on PC, they do what they should do on everything, which is they do the pre-orders and they save you money.
Nice.
So I got the deluxe edition, $10 off, which basically is the regular price of the game.
Nice.
So I have all the cool costumes. I mean, some of them are not that great, but I didn't really pay extra money for, so whatever.
Yeah.
And then all the filters they had, which was one of the things they put in 2 remake and I guess 3. I'm not sure if 3 had those.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of little bonus content there, and then bonus guns they give you and stuff like that. Like, listen, I understand people want a pure experience, but you give me stuff, I'm gonna use it. I don't care about trying to who am I trying to impress?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use this stuff. But here's one thing that I will say: maybe play the game on assisted mode.
Yeah.
Maybe not your first time, and I say this because you want to play it as intended, but when you look at what it says it does for you in assisted mode, it seems like it seems like it put a lot of quality of life things that they help you out with the assisted mode.
Yeah.
Like your health regenerates back to like a certain state, so you don't have to always be constantly worrying about the health items. I think there's something about how they tweak the ammo drops and whatnot, or certain types when you have certain weapons. It's like, so there's things there that I think it's not just easy. You know what I mean? It's like they, instead of just making it, oh, these enemies just have less health and you do more damage, they change some mechanics of the game to accommodate you, and I think that seems like a better type of easy mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty cool. And of course it has hardcore, and then when you beat it, you have the professional mode, which they had in the original.
Yeah.
So
cool.
And they did a good job.
Nice.
They did a good job. It performs well. It can go, if you got a big boy rig, you can do you can make it look real pretty.
Nice.
I would say. And it looks great on everything that is out on the Series X and PS5. Looks great. Runs great. I have not seen any goofy glitches yet. I hope to see some stuff, some shenanigans soon, because you can't escape that. You cannot escape. But other than that, yeah. But I haven't played it because of the Diablo bit, because that was a time thing. It was going away. I was not about to not try that out after the first day. I was like, oh, this is good. I need to focus on this because it's not going to be here in a few days. So now I will play and finish Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
It looks really good from what I've watched so far.
I recommend it, Merc. Like I said, the way it feels and the and the way because it's not exactly the same. It just isn't. It's not the same thing. So the updates they made to Leon himself, to the way the enemies act, to the way like each encounter still feels like a puzzle. Like I highly recommend it.
Okay. I'll definitely check it out. I've seen game. I was watching gameplay. It looks incredible.
Yes, sir.
Before we go to the movie, I got a little update with some figures coming out. Well, also PAX East was this weekend. You got some another trailer for Final Fantasy 16 or 17, 16.
16. Yep.
Yeah, they showed a new trailer. They showed Jack 8 got for his debut trailer.
Oh, he looks bananas. Yes, sir.
You got Disney Speedstorm that got a video game video debut. It's actually going to get a trial, so definitely check it out if you're interested in like Mario Kart games but with Disney characters. Other things that came into news with that was The Last Ronin might get a game, or it looks like that's going to be the next Nintendo game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see where they go with that. Again, depending on the developer and how the gameplay is set, but it's a game that could definitely be like an action RPG because the style of what The Last Ronin is, he kind of learns everyone's way of fighting and kind of combine his own style with everyone else's. So I'm very interested to see where that goes because I actually really love that comic, so I'm happy with that.
Did that series finish yet or no?
The first series, yes, it just started the Lost Years one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's really good. So I definitely recommend you check reading it. It was a really good read.
Okay.
Probably one of my favorite comics of last year or 2 years ago. I'm not sure. Remember when that came out? I know it got delayed very long, and the last issue came out last year.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But it was a very good story. Probably one of my favorite comics that year that it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Super 7 announced Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Ultimate 4, which is a villain, which is one of the monsters, the White Tiger Zord in Megazord form, and then the White Ranger being part of that set.
Is it the lipstick lady and the two friends?
Nah, it's the... So they all were part of the beginning of the White Ranger saga. It was like this white witch thing that kind of... That's the first monster I think he fought after the White Ranger suit.
Okay, all right.
So,
I just remember those three ladies.
Yeah, I remember them too because they were in the movie game.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
But they were in a TV episode.
Yeah, they were.
Right.
They were. And then they combined at the end.
Yeah, they did. That's true. Yeah, that was cool.
So that's the only news I have right now for the figures. It was
Oh,
cool.
you know what? One cool thing I saw. I don't know what is exactly the name of it is, but did you notice that there is a new what's the character's name in Japan? I don't want to call it Mask Rider because that's bad.
Oh, Kamen Rider.
Yeah, the Kamen Rider.
Yeah, I saw the preview
movie
of that.
released in theaters.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It looks ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
And then I see the homages, the director, because it's the same director that he paid to the original show. Like they showed, there's a side by side of like one of the first fights, and you see they shot it in the same field and on the same hill, and you can see the trees and the growing on the side of the I guess the vines and whatever growing on the side of the mountain or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same spot where the guy jumps off, and I was like, oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, Kamen Rider is really good. Like I wish I could catch up to a lot of them because they do some crazy stuff on their shows.
I see in the new one, like he punches a dude and he turns into mist.
Yeah.
I was like, what? All right, that's crazy. I need to check that out. That's ridiculous.
Kamen Rider is a pretty dope show. Definitely check it out. They have the original one on Tubi. which is Geki that
yeah,
played him.
yeah.
The guy that played the original Red Ranger. He played one of the original Mask Riders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah. You want to get into this movie?
Yep. This week we have Watchmen
Yes.
from 2009. It is rated R. It is 2 hours and 42 minutes. And it debuted. Hey, where's the United States? Why are we all?
It was like March of 2019.
Yeah, March. Well, I guess maybe the premiere was March 6th. Yeah,
Opening weekend was March 8th.
Yeah, gotcha. It is directed by Zack Snyder.
Yes, it is.
Who, on this cast, we know him for a few things, good and bad.
Yes, he has some poo-poos under his belt.
It's a bad place to keep him, but yeah.
But we also had him already with 300, so we had one of his films already.
We've already watched Justice League before that.
Yes, we did.
And I am not looking forward to having to watch it again.
And the director cut. I think we just watched one of them.
Yeah, just one. He also did Man of Steel, which is good. I like Man of Steel.
Yeah, Man of Steel was alright.
He also did Batman versus Superman.
Yes.
But okay, besides superhero stuff, is there anything that he did that you really liked?
Well,
I know how I was disappointed at Sucker Punch.
I liked 300.
It looked great, but it was not. It was a movie about nothing.
I liked 300. Legend of the Guardians was okay. That was with the owls and shit.
Sounds familiar.
It was a kids movie.
I think I remember the commercials for it.
Visually, it was beautiful. Yeah, it was a beautiful visually movie. I did like Man of Steel. I had my things going into with Batman vs Superman and things like that. It was supposed to be something different, but Man of Steel was supposed to go with the Nolan universe and not the Batman that we got. So, he also directed a movie called Army of the Dead with Batista in it, but he has a style. Oh, the remake of Dawn of the Dead I really like too.
Really? Okay.
He also did some music videos as well.
Okay.
He did.
I did not see that. That remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Stewart.
All right.
So this movie, Watchmen,
written by Dave Gibbons, based on the graphic novel co-created by him. What does it say? The screenplay was David Hayter.
Yes.
Who is the voice of Solid Snake, or the original voice of Solid Snake.
Yes.
Not Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes.
Did you know he also, I think he did the screenplay for X-Men?
Yes, he did.
And X-Men 2.
Yes.
So he's got some. He did X-Men 2. He's all right in my world. He's all right.
Didn't he talk of Wolverine too? X-Men, the X-Men, one of the X-Men cartoons.
Maybe he was the one. Maybe he was Wolverine and the X-Men.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Because I know he was not the one on X-Men Evolution. That's Steve Blum.
Oh, he was Steve Rogers in the Spider-Man animated series. That's where I got confused with.
Oh, he was Steve Rogers. Okay.
He was Captain America. And he played Captain America again in a later cartoon. I swear he was Wolverine in something.
I mean, it has his whole thing here, so if he's a Wolverine or something, they can say it. Maybe he was Winter Soldier on Marvel Heroes.
Yeah, I see that. Well, I guess I'm wrong. Yeah. Oh, he was the bartender in Like a Dragon.
I see that as well. He's got a very big list of different like cartoons, video games, things like that. So he's a very diverse individual, which is cool. But most people know him for Solid Snake.
Yep.
And Alex Say also wrote the screenplay with him.
Yes.
And the cast in order, it says here. Malin Ackerman.
Yep.
Was Laurie Jupiter. Silk Spectre 2. Bill Crudup, Dr. Manhattan. John Osterman. Matthew Good as Adrian Veidt, Ozymandias. Jackie Earl Haley as Rosarch. Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Edward Blake, the comedian.
Yeah.
Patrick Wilson as Dan Dryberg and / Night Owl, excuse me. Carla Gugino as Sally Jupiter, Silk Spectre 1. Matt Frewer as Moloch. Stephen McHattie as Hollis Mason. Laura Minow as Janie Slater, excuse me. Let's see, because I know there are a lot of people who get screen time, but who else is?
I think you mentioned the ones that are like the main.
Malcolm Scott, Fat Thug.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's about everybody that's like high profile, right?
Yeah.
Daryl Scaler as Captain Metropolis. Okay. Brett Stimley as John F. Kennedy, because there was a John F. and Carrie Ginzel as Jackie Kennedy, because yes, the Kennedys were in the movie.
Yes, they were.
I mean, there's a few things because people play like David Bowie, Mick Jagger, that wasn't them. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of little things here and there.
Yes.
So we know this is based on was it graphic novel or was it just a series of comics?
Yeah, it's a graphic novel.
All right. The synopsis is in 1985, where former superheroes exist, the murder of a colleague sends active vigilante Rosarch into his own sprawling investigation, uncovering something that could completely change the course of history as we know it. So, and that's pretty much how the movie starts off.
Yes.
I did not know that was.
Yeah,
Yeah, I will say. Scott Steiner does not care.
Yeah, Scott Steiner's an asshole. But yeah, it was the murder of. So it's funny looking at it now. Like, I haven't watched this movie in a good amount of time. You can kind of tell who it was early in the movie, just by how he dressed.
Yeah.
Because when you first see the character, you're like, huh.
Yeah.
Just because he was like perfectly tucked and all that shit, and I was like, you could actually really tell that was that guy.
Okay, so did you read the original Watchmen or no?
Yes, I have.
Is it close to what happened? It not close to
I will
what
say
happened?
they did a good job in capturing what the comic was. The only thing they didn't really do in the movie was the big monster fight they had. Other than that, they really kind of captured whatever they were able to capture with this. I think from scene of some of the scenes that they actually did in the comic, they did it like perfect, like scene to scene action and stuff like that. Visually, this movie was really breathtaking too. Like, it was a really beautiful movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How it was filmed, how like that. The one thing that gets me with Zack Snyder movies, though, the slow motion. Everything is slow mo. There's so much slow mo in the movie.
There's a lot.
But
there's a lot.
Other than that, like, I actually liked the plot. I liked the story. This is another movie that Alan Moore hated of his writing.
I can see that. But okay, to that point, is it widely known why he hates that movie?
I think he just hates I think he just hates people doing his shit, and not him getting fully compensated for it.
I mean, you say that. Yeah, I kind of hate on something too. If you, I you're not putting all the ducats in my pocket. Yeah, I kind of would hate on it too. Yeah, I get you.
But then again, he really doesn't like a lot of people's take on his work. So
I guess it's because it's an artist's interpretation. Like to that I get it, but I also understand that it's just gonna happen because that's the world we live in. Where if you make something and it becomes popular, somebody else is gonna have a take on it.
Yep.
Can't stop it.
Especially
Especially when you. Oh, well, go ahead.
No, especially when you don't own the rights to.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
the studio could take the property and just give it to somebody else
Yeah.
to make it, it's like, well, you should have made it an independent comic then, and had the rights to yourself. Nobody could take it.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault that like so DC bought out Vertigo, and that was the independent company that Vertigo did. DC bought them out, so DC had the rights to all their stuff, and that's why they started making movies of all his stuff because they were part of Vertigo Comics, which is V for Vendetta, which is League for Extraordinary Gentlemen, and shit like that.
Ooh. Well, when you put it that way, I would hate everything.
Yep.
Wait a second. They just took it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of get it a little bit more now. All right. That makes the picture a little clearer.
Yeah.
But story-wise, did you end up having a favorite Watchmen, a favorite character?
Rorschach. I think Rorschach stole the movie for me. Like, I think he was my favorite character, like just done well and things like that. I did like Patrick Wilson in it. I think he's a good actor. So he anything he does is pretty good. But I also like this. I liked a lot of this movie. I actually liked the storylines that they were giving and kind of how they reenact everything. And the scene for scene from comics to movie, it was actually really cool, and just the aesthetic of it. I think I liked it a lot better than my first time watching it, which I was probably half drunk watching it, and all I saw was blue penises, and it was like, okay, that's enough. We don't need to see all that. But other than that, I think the movie had a really good point. I think this is the start point for a lot of things like The Boys and anything with evil superhero team and things like that. And I think this was the first to really do it and do it really well. So I give credit for that too. So this gonna go 4.5 for me. It's like one of my, I'll say it's one of the better movies that we have to watch so far.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna give it a 4.25. I'm gonna say I agree with you on Rorschach. But I do give credit to like Ozymandias, just the way he was portrayed. Like the actor portrayed the character and stuff. You know, the way he looked and then the way he actually was like kind of a shock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I mean, I just liked a lot of the characters just in general.
Dr. Man was a dick.
I mean, if you got hit with what you got hit by and you got turned into a naked blue man, you kind of a dick too.
Yeah. It's like you getting too
because I think one of the things I think about now, as opposed to when I just first saw him, just watching it just to watch it, is that you can. I'm not saying you can sit there and sympathize with everybody because it's a fantasy movie and there's things happening, but there are extreme events happening to people that are drastically altering their lives in ways that just aren't realistic. So I understand how people feel not understand how they feel. I understand how they can change.
Yeah.
Because they literally got ripped apart by. What was that? Was that nuclear or was that something else?
Yeah, it was like I forgot the name of it. Yeah, it was supposed to be like nuclear because it was during the wars and shit.
Yeah. But it was like he got atomized, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he lived through it and became something more than human. And it's just like at that point, you see that people just can't stop their dumb BS, and you're this god man. It's like, I don't want nothing to do with any of you.
Yeah.
Turn into dust, turn into bones, please get away from me. You know what I mean? Like, so I kind of understand. I understand how a character can go on an arc like that.
Yep.
But before we move on, I would just ask, how do you feel the main villain ended up being? Because we've seen a lot of movies now where there's like villains and stuff in it. Just as a whole, like, how do you think he held up as a main villain?
I think I held up because I think that the story went well with it and what the point was going to, and then even Dr. Mahan kind of being more like, I'm tired of y'all fucking people kind of shit too. I was like, Jackie was saying that's like the meme when he's sitting alone on the moon and shit. And it's like he legit got tired of people. He's careless. He became so careless too with how he handles regular people too. As I mean, he brought her to the moon and shit and didn't even fucking give her oxygen tanks. He's like, my bad.
Yeah.
and shit. I like the way the movie turned out. I like the way how everything kind of turned and things like that. Like I said, this is like the beginning of like stuff like The Boys and Jupiter Ascending and things like that with Invincible, like with the evil superheroes and having a reality point on the superheroes.
Gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
actually dug that.
Gotcha.
So you said 425, and where this goes?
425. And what's around?
I'll tell you right now. 425s are Punisher, X2. That's it.
Put it behind X2.
All right.
X2 is just hard to beat because of Wolverine.
Yeah.
For me.
Makes sense.
Like, I think that was the first time I saw Wolverine done right, and I was like, God damn.
So, segue to that, we are going to see what Wolverine gone wrong. Our next movie is X-Men Origins.
We're finally here. This was all for this.
Actually, this was all for
really.
Fantastic Four, the original one first. Now it's coming to these movies. Yeah, X-Men Origins is next. Sarah Gates is after that. Whiteout is after that. Defender, Paperman, Loser, Kick-Ass, Iron Man, Jonah Hex, Scott Pilgrim vs. World, The Red, Green Hornet, I Am Number 4, Thor, X-Men First Class.
Oh, jeez.
Then Green Lantern.
I'm more hyped to see Green Lantern than I am to see First Class. Ugh.
Then Captain America.
All right. Yes, finally.
Then Cowboys vs. Aliens.
Never seen that.
That was
I
okay.
remember the name. Never seen it.
It was an okay movie. I remember.
Okay.
It was okay.
Okay.
So, we are continuing this movie journey. Definitely check it out. If you want to see their past reviews, definitely check it out as well. All our past casts. They all are in a playlist on SoundCloud. You just click the playlist and you can listen to all the casts of all the movies we did so far. Yeah, we can wrap this up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for listening to the episode of the It Gets Better I Swear podcast. Make sure you check us out anywhere and everywhere. RedCycloneInc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. That is YouTube. That is SoundCloud. That is Spotify. You got a WordPress, but
Yep.
Did I say?
Yeah.
I said everything.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Where you at, Mark?
Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch. All Mark the Mic. Also follow. Shout outs to Popcorny Podcast, Tenacious T, our fellow brother of our bi-monthly cast of the Morphin Cast, Not a Trekkie, Gamer Rage, and Shell Shock. He does his own cast called Popcorny with Jeremy, which is named Sriracha. It's about pop culture, comics, and everything in between, so definitely check it out if you're interested. They've been doing live shows on TikTok, if you follow them on TikTok, or you follow their SoundCloud and Spotify, sorry. Check them out. Also, check out my TikTok, Mark with the Mic. I have a bunch of photography, beer, photos, and food. Definitely check it out and give me a follow. I'm almost at 2,000. Help me push up. And that's it. Always remember, follow the Jinkies.
'Cause he's hungry.
God damn Wolverine Origin.
At least that thing gets its due when Deadpool kills him.
Yeah. Damn, how far is Deadpool from this? There's a lot of movies between this and Deadpool. Wolverine Origins. This is where I learned never trust a movie with a black IP member.
Is it 2014, 2016 is Deadpool?
2016.
Oh, that's a while. Damn.
Never trust a movie with a black IP member.
Yeah, they just had a bad track record.
Yep. Yep.
Like my Chun-Li.
Oh, yeah.